Hey y'all, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here I want to take a moment and talk about that herd mentality type thing. The herd mentality. Or even, you say it the other way, the flock. So it's easier to gain control over many at one time. The minds of the masses than to try to pick off one at a time. So a lot of the propaganda is designed for the agenda that is written and has been written for many years. Okay? We sign on to it, we play it out. But with that said, they have many people to lead the flock, you know. They have many people in different areas, of our lives to kind of like impart information that is designed for us to keep us, under control. And in their narrative, it's like a psychosis, a mass psychosis. So they get everyone to believe the narrative. They get everyone to believe the narrative. Doesn't matter, by the way, it comes where you're sitting in church, mosque, synagogue, wherever, hall, whatever, watching TV, on social media, on reading the news, you name it. A government, your education system, places where you can put in subversive type agendas and plant seeds so that people are not thinking, they're just following the lead. They're not conscious much of anything other than what you put in front of them. They're not doing any critical thinking. They're just following the lead. It's almost, I do that sometimes, if I don't put on the navigation system and in the vehicle and someone's sitting next to me and they know where to go, and I tune into them because they're telling me turn right, turn left, turn this. I shut down my intuition, which always guides me and directs me and gets me to wherever I need to go. Some way, somehow, I don't always know where I'm going, but I get in that car, and if I'm still, somehow my intuition kicks in and gets me to where I need to be. But when I get in the car with another who knows where they're going, knows exactly where something is, I tune into them and they'll tell me, and they will tell me right, left, this way, that way. So once I tune out of myself and into someone else, I'm listening to them and they are telling me if they stop midway, I would be lost. Because I had put all of my faith, trust, and belief into this person and their instruction and what they're telling me to do. So then when I'm left to have to think for my own, to try to figure it out for myself, it takes a little work. It takes a little tapping back in. It takes okay, you don't know where you're going, let me get a map. Let me turn on the navigation system. Oh, I know that I have this ability to find my way, so let me tune into myself. What we've done without realizing is we have tuned in to another narrative so much so where we're no longer thinking. And I brought this up in one of the other videos with this AI thing, that just chopped off my video because I mentioned it. But when you allow other things to take over, you're no longer using your intuition. You're no longer thinking for yourself. Now, this is all by design. And that's where some of us we're just out there. We are out there not realizing that people it's not anything to be nervous about. It's not anything to be fearful about. Remember, it's just to peak the game so that you are aware of what's happening and what's going on. But don't accept any of it as true. Know that there's a mass psychosis going on. There's another thing, like they want to shut down and silence people and stuff, but at the same time, there's an aspect of what they're doing. There's a part where they want to know what everyone is thinking, what everyone is saying. And if they're cutting everyone off, they don't know what everyone is thinking. So somewhere they want to leave up a few voices and then put other voices, then put other people in that can manage the herd. They look like you, may even sound like you. But if you listen carefully, they're not down with you or up with you. They're dividing you. They're distracting you. They're misinforming you. They're keeping you in the position to be preyed upon, They're keeping you in a place where, I don't want to say setting you up for the lineup, but they're keeping you in your place. I heard a video the other day. I have no business listening to this stuff because my nerves can't, It triggers certain things in me. It triggers a few things. There's obviously some open wounds that are still not right, healed. And so when I hear certain things, this one was, I'm just saying, that they somehow want to put an overseer in place to keep you in check. And if you go out of line, that overseer is supposed to put you back in line. Just like a herd of sheep. Sheep wanders off, get them back in line. Hey, just follow the herd, right? So they have handlers. People that are communicating with us every day, that we trust, that we give our mind over to. We listen to the miseducation or the propaganda or allow them to plant seeds because we're trusting the source. Some of those people are reading or going by a script, and they have handlers. And on this particular video, I hear there's handlers that don't look like us. Keeping I talk about buck breaking. Keeping the bucks in line so they can handle, keeping the bucks in line so they can handle the flock. And then we don't know what we don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know that you don't know, but something suspicious, something happens. Your intuition, one eye opens and say, wait a minute, something's not right with this. But you go along with it and you dismiss what is being shown to you. You put on the rose-colored glasses, then you put on the black glasses so you can't see a damn thing. And continue to allow people to assault your mind and your heart. To take over your mind and your heart with the script they've been given to keep you in line. Now remember, I'm telling you this, not so much so that you can sit down and analyze it, but what happens is when you know it instinctively, but you got on the glasses to hide the truth from yourself, so you can play around in their game, on their field, with their rules. When all power to shift anything is who you are. You're just playing around in the madness. While they're coming up with stories, while they're coming up with narratives to keep you delusional and confused. And remember, I said in one of my other videos, even while your mind and heart is trying to make sense of everything, trying to pull things in perspective, trying to lift up, every time you think you have a moment, and you have a moment where you can actually laugh and smile and feel good. By the way, that's what's keeping us. But anyway, and feel good, they come and hit you with something else to traumatize you, to keep us off balance, to keep us from reconnecting, to remembering ourselves. At the same time, they try to erase everything, our history, so that we don't even have that to look upon to kind of like bring some remembrance back to who we be. Now I know I'm just talking, but this is a talk to say, we already know it's about getting our minds back. Getting our minds back, getting our minds back. And remember I said, when you think you have it, think again. People are like 10 steps, 20 steps, 1,000 steps ahead of us, but we have something greater where they have no power. Do you know that everything that they've tried to use to take us out is only strengthening us? It's only building us. We only need to come to recognize that. It's only restoring and giving our superhuman abilities strength. Now, it is good to know that, there's been a number of things. You saw things, but they want to erase all of that, because they don't want you thinking on that. So they have people, the overseers, the broken folk, and others handling the flock, keeping the psychosis going, keeping us sleepwalking. But so many of us are see it for what it is, so it's not really working anymore. It's not really working out anyhow. So check your circle, find out, okay, pay attention. What are they talking about? What do they have you listening to? Is it a waste of your energy, your mind time? How is it helping you? How is it uplifting you? How is it transforming your mind? Because this is what this subversive thing is about, to transform your mind so that it can continue to be used as human capital stock. There's people that just see us as that. That's what's built many of these continents. We were already there. They came and told us that we weren't there, but we were already on those continents. And you have to remember, what did they do? So it's kind of windy out here. My last few videos have been just out here in the wind. But I wanted to say that we know the games, you know, and we only need to become aware of what it is. So every time I get a chance, I'll come on here and share a little bit more. But they need you to travel in herds. And now that they know that the regular media, news, whatever, is not capturing as many minds, they are now using more and more of our own to help them to do that. To help them to do that. It was already being done. It was already being done. Okay? We've even risen above much of that has been used in our churches and you know, our places of worship that were designed to manage that. But we've managed to rise above that because we tapped into our true history, our truth, though it was made into something else and then spoon-fed. But somehow we reconnected to our truth. But many have not. And that's why you see them, you know, we're still in the same condition. Hey, that's another, I'm going to talk about that in another video. But anyway, know this, that we were all over the place. And they found ways to get a foot on the land where we were. And eventually, after fights and whatever, they had decided, oh, we're going to do treaties. They didn't honor any of those treaties. They told us, okay, we'll bring you gifts. So what did they bring? Blankets with disease in the blankets to get rid of the rest. So this is the mindset of the kind of people that we're dealing with. And all those that have set up shops in our areas, in our neighborhoods and stuff, that is not of, they're only there for the pickings. They're only there to do what they do. To capitalize. We are participants in this. Don't get it twisted. We are not victims. We are not victims. There's always a dreamer, and there's a dream, and then there's people in the dream, or someone in the dream. Figure it out. Where are you? What are we signing up to you? And I'd like to talk about that in another video. How these people have always been in our areas, you know. They're now finding other ways to bring stuff into our communities. And we still go because we're conditioned. We're conditioned. Those flock herders, the buck-broken ones, the gatekeepers, the overseers, the ones that have the other ones that don't look like them telling them, what they will and will not do, and what they need to do to keep their flock in line. And we caught up in it. Step out of the madness, people. Step out of the madness, I tell you. We just are floating with it, but it's time to kind of like change the game. Much love. Choice here. I'm out here with the wind. It's so beautiful. But Choice here, thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste.